And let's face it, for most of us that are middle age, our mobility just plain sucks. And we don't really incorporate it really to the training that we do. It's just an afterthought to our cardio exercises. It's an afterthought to maybe our strength exercises. It's an afterthought to our activities. Oh, maybe we do a little bit of stretching before we play pickleball or go swimming or play tennis or whatnot. So most people get confused as to what mobility really means and how it differs from stretching. They think, aren't they both the same thing? And that's a misconception. Stretching is really about elongating your muscles, particularly your muscles and your tendons, and by holding a position for a period of time. And it's a good thing. There's no doubt about it. But mobility is something that's more dynamic. And when you're not just getting muscles and tendons involved, but you're getting your ligaments and your myofascia involved as well. So you're doing dynamic movements and twisting and squatting and whatnot. So it's very important to incorporate mobility into your, I think, your daily training. And I think there's, four suggestions that I would have, as the founder of Future Fit You and thinking about this stuff moving forward, because it's mobility is the one thing that we can all improve on. I mean, I'm not going to be as strong as I was in my 20s or 30s. I'm not going to be as, let's say, have the greatest cardio as I once did, but I can be more mobile. I can work on my hip mobility, which is bad. And I'm really trying to work on that almost every day, if not every other day. So what are those four things that I think are important for you to incorporate? Well, number one, consistency. Whatever you do, try to be consistent. Maybe you work on different groups. Maybe you work on your shoulders. Maybe you work on your ankles. I mean, a lot of us have poor ankle flexibility, and this leads to falls. Maybe you work on your hips, like I need to work on, or your knees. So one of the things I do is every night I try to sit in front of the TV for 5 or 10 minutes and get in positions that aren't the most comfortable, but it's something that my body starts getting into a muscle memory for. The second thing you can do is I suggest everyone have one of these, which is a foam roller. And the foam roller is something that you can use to roll your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves, and even just different spots on your body, your arms, forearms, what have you, to get those knots out. So that's a really good thing to have and a very cheap thing to have in your toolkit. I think the other important thing is, what are some of these dynamic stretches? And I'm going to share my computer right now and just show you how many different types of things that you can do. Like, it's so varied. I mean, I have an Instagram account, and you look at, this is a guy, Coach Green, who I follow. Now he's doing some things, as you can see there, on shoulder mobility, quite innovative, right? And maybe some look at that as being pretty aggressive, but look, do 25%, do 50%, but it's extremely helpful. He's very innovative, by the way, and I really like this guy quite a bit. Here's a guy that I think everybody should get to know. His Dr. Kelly Starrett. He's the founder of the Ready State. And you can see he's showing you some ankle flexion and dorsal activities that you can do as well. He's, very innovative, very creative, very smart. And also very safe, because we all want to be safe when we get into these positions. I mean, you can go down, if I go to my home screen on Instagram, a lot of the stuff that you see you can see is how do you squat? A lot of it's, look at, even for tennis players, getting into positions. Again, some of that stuff may be a little bit too aggressive, especially for me, but there's tons of stuff out there for you and to find, even for specific body parts as well. So so that's the third thing. The fourth thing is, I think some of the Asian practices with Tai Chi are definitely worth exploring. I used to laugh when I lived in Hong Kong, and I looked at people doing Tai Chi because they were all old people, and I'm thinking, what are they doing? It doesn't even appear like they're getting into any exercises. But when you actually explore it more, it's kind of like yoga. When you start doing it, you realize that it's a lot more difficult than you think. So this is my thoughts on mobility. I really think it's something important to emphasize. I think it's something that you can all improve on. On my site, futurefitu.com, as part of our assessment, we do 9 mobility challenges, and we compare how you fit, or how mobile you are versus others in your age and gender. And it's, again, one of those things that we can all improve on and get better as we age. So definitely worth putting some attention to and some time to. So thanks for listening to the video, and hope you visit the site.